Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling start to Tune Up Tuesday. Yes, this is one of my favorite days of the week. I only have 7 favorite days, but this is one of them. And today, Tune Up is all about tuning up our mindset and helping us become more successful in business, more successful in life. So today, we're going to look at 6 things to tune up your Tuesday. Um, 6 things to tune up your Tuesday. Tune up your Tuesday. Yeah, that could be a fun thing to say 3 times fast. Oh, I did finish my tea. So the number one thing you can do is invest in yourself. It's sort of like a little a reward. You know, if you've been burning the candle at both ends, you just need a break or something. Take some time out for yourself. It could be a time-related thing, or it could be something like getting a haircut. Yeah, just it's been over a year since I got my haircut. So getting a haircut, it could be it's something to do for yourself that is yours and yours alone. So getting a haircut, getting a manicure, pedicure, um, having a meal out, and if you can't have a meal out, get a meal delivered in so you don't have to cook that evening. You know, just a way to reward yourself or treat yourself. Going for a drive down to the beach, the river, the lake. If you're somebody who um, finds solace in finds solace in the water, like going to the beach and you sit there and just listen to the waves crashing against the shore, or just like to sit there and watch the waves wash up on the shore while you just sit there and contemplate. Or it could be that you like to do it next to a river where there's a raging river or something with, what was that line from? Well, that was a line from Badger, which with water running over rugged rocks. Yes, water rushing over rugged rocks. Oh. Sorry, total sidetrack there. A book from my child, a story from my childhood, Bad Jelly the Witch. It was a good one. Water rushing over rugged rocks. Yes. Uh, Maybe you find that soothing. Or it could be that you like just being out on the lake. It could be that you have a boat. You know, take the boat out and just sit out there um, and just spend some time by yourself. You know, it doesn't have to be expensive. It could be something as simple as, I need a new potted plant on my desk. Do not give me live plants. I kill them. My poor mother, I don't know how many times when she's come over to the States to visit that she has spent when we were living in a house and we had real live plants. I don't know how many times she spent time helping my plants recover from the. I try to remember. I did not inherit the green. Like my dad's mum had a very green thumb. My mum has a green thumb. I didn't. It totally missed me. I yeah. I need hard plants that don't require a lot of care, that are very simple to take care of, but even those I tend to kill as well. So do not give me live plants. I will eventually end, although I did manage to keep some, I had some people send me those live plant baskets when Brad passed, and I managed to keep most of those alive for a year, 18 months, and then I gave them away before I bought the RV. Yeah, I managed to keep most of them alive. Most of them. The keyword most. Um, so yeah, so don't give me live plants. I tend to kill them. But it could be that you want a new plant to go on your desk. It could be that that there's something that you want, that it could be a book that you've always wanted to read but you've never got around to reading. It's taking that time out to go read it. So it's just investing time in yourself, giving yourself that break, pampering yourself a little bit. As a caregiver, we know all about having to stop and take care of our. The number one golden rule of a caregiver is always take care of yourself so you can take care of your loved ones. Because if anything happens to you, because you're not taking care of yourself, then who's going to take care of your loved one and you? So that's the golden rule, and it has to be drilled in because most caregivers are nurturers by nature, which is this one. And I got raked over the coals several times by my fellow caregivers about not taking time out for myself. Brad would literally kick me out of the house on some days. He had this ileostomy, which was the ileostomy from hell. And I couldn't be any more than 30 minutes away from the house. And he said, "Oh, go have a massage." I said, "You don't understand. I could be on the massage table, but the entire time I'm in there, I'm anticipating that phone ringing to tell me that your seal's broken. I've now got to get back to the house within 30 minutes to get that seal changed out before the acid coming out of the ileostomy burns your skin." And he's still like, "Oh." I says, "It's not going to relax me at all. And the masseuse is going to have a hard time because my muscles are going to be so tense." So I would go down to like the craft store and just wander through there. I would go to the bookstore and wander through the bookstore. Although for me, it's very hard to go into both places and not come out with something. If I happen to come out without making a purchase while in there, I kind of consider that a win. I love my crafts. I love my books. What can I say? And even sometimes if it was just buying a magazine, that was okay. I would treat myself to a magazine. So I wasn't, because there was a lot of times I ran away to the bookstore. But they also had a really good cafe sitting next to the bookstore as well. So go sit there, have a hot chocolate, and buy a magazine and go home again. But, think of things that you can do that's not expensive and something that just gives you a break from the norm. It's kind of like a mini Serenity Sunday. You think of it as that way. You're taking time out for yourself, taking time to care. So, am I up to number one? Jeepers. Stop talking, Helen. Stop talking, the video's done. Step number 2 is write or draw your thoughts to help declutter your brain. It will also help you. You can write them down, you can mind map them, you can draw them, you can doodle them, whatever you want, just get them out of your brain. Because the brain gets cluttered, like a house can get cluttered, an office can get cluttered. And so you need to declutter the brain, and by writing things down or drawing things, it can help that process and declutter the brain, and then suddenly solutions start coming. Sometimes when you see stuff written down, you're like, oh, well, what if I did? And all of a sudden you'll be inspired when you actually see it written, because you've been mulling it over in your brain hasn't been able to kind of process it maybe. So, but sometimes when you see it written down, you're sort of like, oh, well, that's easy. I can do that. And off you go and solve the problem you've been working on. Ask yourself questions. Questions like, how can I get this done? Important word, how. Second important word, what is the next step? So how can I get this done? What is the next step? And when you're asking yourself these useful questions, you can do something which is called ILT, invest, learn, and teach. So you can go and invest in learning something new. Then you so you invest the time to learn something new. You then turn around and teach it. So find that little golden nugget out of something that you've learned, something new you've learned today, and go teach it. Good input. Actually, I probably should have put the good input before the ask yourself questions. But good input with books, audios, videos, practical training, things, and we're talking good input here. Things that inspire you, things that how-tos, those can work as well. I find a lot of time I will sit here, like at lunchtime or breakfast, and I may be on Prime because I have Amazon Prime, and they have this great business series there where they have all of these CEOs from different companies or owners from big companies, and they sit there and interview them. And they interview them about their life, not about their job, but about their life, how they ended up in that role. What influences did they have as a child? What inspired them to reach for the position where they are now. So there's a lot of great inspirational stuff there. YouTube, you can find a lot of great stuff there as well. And then audios. I love listening to autobiographies. This might sound stupid, but I have Carol Burnett and Billy Crystal each narrating their own books. Oh, and Martin Sheen and his son Emilio co-wrote a book together, and it was, and just listening to them tell their own stories is so much better than having somebody else narrate their story. So if I can get a book where if I can get a biography that is narrated by the person it is written about. So in this case, Carol Burnett's book was written by Carol Burnett. She's the one that narrated it. Billy Crystal wrote his book. He narrated his audio book. Martin Sheen and Emilio Estevez wrote their books. They narrated the book. And it was a very interesting book because they said something about it's the first time a father-son had teamed up to do a biography about, and it basically went, Martin Sheen did his bit on his life, then Emilio would come and do his bits, and they would go backwards and forwards after that. So you got to see Martin Sheen's life before Emilio came along. Emilio's his oldest son, and then once Emilio came along, then he started sharing his stories, and they were going backwards and forwards, and they were talking about all sorts of stuff that they come across, challenges they'd had as a father-son combination. Then they worked on the movie again. What was that movie? It's where jeepers, it's that pilgrimage you can do in Spain. It's a very long pilgrimage you can do. and the son was supposed to, I think it's called The Way, and the son was supposed to do this pilgrimage, but he uh, died before he could start it. So his father went over to collect his belongings and everything else, and takes his son's ashes and decides to do the pilgrimage in his place. And it's about the people he met along the way, the challenges he met along the way, the good things that happened to him, the bad things that happened to him as he did this pilgrimage um, for his son. So I haven't actually seen the movie. It's in my playlist. I do have to go watch it, though. I think it's called The Way. But Emilio Estevez directed that movie, and Martin Sheen played the father in that. So it talked about them. It talked about their their experience in the movie from their own perspectives, which was really cool. So and I listened to that book, and it was amazing. So there's plenty of different books you can get out there. You know, biographies, inspiring. There's just so many of them. You know, even Chicken Soup for the Soul. Just reading one of those little stories a day can be good input for you. Check your comfort level. Always have some discomfort in what you are doing. So when you are and whenever you're working in the day and you're in the business, what is it that's making you uncomfortable? Do a little more of it because it helps you stretch and grow. Because you don't learn if you ain't got struggles. You're not struggling, or you're not feeling some discomfort, then you are not growing. You are sitting in place. Get up and get moving. And then number 6 was have a conversation with someone you don't know and listen, and go with the mindset of encouraging someone else. So think about that. One thing I like to do when I go to networking meetings is I typically, when I go in there, I figure out who I'm going to talk to in the meeting when I'm there. But if I'm talking to somebody, my whole goal when I go to a networking event is to get in and out with people not knowing what it is that I do. Think about that. If you go to a networking event and you're talking with people, my goal is to get out of that meeting without anybody knowing what it is that I do. My sole focus is on the person I am talking to. Finding out about them, about their business, what type of clients are they looking for, what products they have, how can I best refer them, those types of questions. And when you're asking those questions, they have no, and it could mean that you meet somebody else in that same networking event, and the person you just talked to, these two could come together and be a good connection. And so after listening to this person over here, you then say, hey, I've got somebody I want you to meet. And then you walk them over to to this person over here that you met, and you put them together, you introduce them, put them together, and then you just slip away and leave them talking. And the whole time they have no clue what it is that you actually do. So have a conversation with someone today where your intent and purpose is to help them in some way. It could be encouraging them. It could be finding a referral for them. It could be helping them find somebody who they could possibly collaborate with. So there's all sorts of things that you can do. So those are the 6 things for you to do today. Invest in yourself. Write or draw your thoughts down. Ask yourself useful questions like, how can I get this done? What is the next step? Get good input from books, videos, practical training. Check your comfort levels. Always make sure you're growing and stretching. And have a conversation with somebody you don't know and listen. And go with the intent and purpose of encouraging them. That's it from me for Tune Up Tuesday. I have got a packed calendar, so I'm going to go get that done, and we will catch you guys later today. So have a super fantastic, sparkling Tune Up Tuesday. Hey, konera.